Hi, my name is Ruben. I'm a musician and sound engineer. That's my lovely wife, Rachel. She's a psychologist. And that's a 2 week old baby, Briella. So we came here at Birthvillage when Rachel was 32 weeks pregnant. And
Yeah. So we used to go to a care provider before we came here, and they had kind of told us that it would be a C-section without even telling us that we could try for a normal delivery. So when we looked for alternate options, I just came and saw the Lamaze classes at BV, and I said, okay, maybe let me just get my information sorted, and that's how I reached out to BV. And but then we came in for a consultation, and at the consultation we met with Priyanka Chechi. First of all, entering BV itself gave us such a different vibe. It was like home. I was like a little skeptical, but I think Ruben was really happy about how it was set up. He likes the whole nature skew kind of setting and all of that. So when I met with Priyanka Chechi, um, she the first thing she did was explain what we did until 32 weeks. I had no clue of what we were doing until 32 weeks. So all the scans, all the reports, everything was actually taken through like in and out, and we knew why we did what we did. We knew what medicines were given to me, why it was given to me, why it was prescribed, all of that. Like, I was clueless about pregnancy until I came to BV. And I think the most empowering thing that happened to both of us was the fact that the word birthing was placed. We always say delivery, and how the delivery is going to be, but when delivery was replaced to birthing, that itself empowered both of us. I think the most amazing thing was that the consultation went on for 1.5 hours actually. Everything was discussed, like everything in and out. Like, I have a concern with my back. I had a concern with my back because I have a slip disc. So and then I was overweight as well. So then I needed to know if normal delivery was possible. But we were clearly told that it's not impossible. It's definitely something we can try towards. But there were very strict dietary recommendations. There were very strict, weight. You can only increase this much weight in the next few weeks, and all of that. That was something that we didn't know at all.
I had a few misconceptions. Now, it's a norm that if you get good care, that's going to cost a premium. So even though I did have an idea about Birth Village, I thought the costs were pretty high. And so where we were as a couple, we just started out as a couple, just started off as a family. So we had a financial concern. So I was a little reluctant to maybe think about the whole thing. So we didn't look into it.
I think when we came here, being told that the package was something that we can afford, and not afford, actually easily afford, considering it included the consultation charges, it included the postnatal checkups, it included all the rooms, it included the facilities, it included even everything. Um, it definitely seemed so much more doable. And at times we actually were like, oops, we should have started long back, because it would have come within the entire financial budget that we had. And the second point, as he said, about the medical interventions, we came here to know there was an OT, and there's an on-call gynecologist, there's an anesthetist, and then there are machines, the phototherapy machine, and there's an ICU, and on-call nurses and everything. And we're like, wow, okay, that's a full package. So the misconception that BV was not ready for emergency, or BV was not ready for complications, was definitely erased, and BV is expensive was definitely out of the books for us after we came here. Active mama classes were actually introduced to me, saying that it was required for good labor and also stamina, and um, all the advantages were told to me. But I think when it came to the fact that it was online and Zoom, and things like that. I was a little skeptical because the video is supposed to be on, and at that time I was still working, so I had to figure out my routine as well, and then I had to change around my clients and things like that. So 32 weeks vannalum I went into active mama classes only by 34 weeks, and I definitely regret not being in it for I mean, at least from 32, because it was such a blessing for me, and I was looking forward to getting into the workout classes every time. The care providers were like, you have a back issue, you need bed rest, you cannot do many things, you should take it slow, don't climb stairs, or everything that active mama was telling. Please do it, and do 300 squats every day, do 500 steps. And I'm like, I don't know if my body can do it. But 37 weeks, and I was actually doing 500 steps without any problem. I was not huffing, I was not, and the oxytocin, as they say, was actually kicking in, and I was so much more happier. And it was seen with, I mean, he could see the difference. My in-laws could see the difference. People who were calling me could see the difference, because till 32 weeks I felt like pregnancy was not my thing, and I was like, ugh, just get it done with. But the from 32nd week, people were seeing such tremendous changes, and I think it was because of the classes I was attending regularly. And the relaxation helped during labor. The fact that there was a one minute cardio workout, and then there was a rest, and then there's a 1 minute cardio workout, and then there's a rest. So you're doing that continuously. Your body is just used to it when it comes to active labor. So rest felt like heaven for me. That's because of the classes and the breathing techniques. Also, the comfort measures that Shara would teach during the whole classes would help me further during labor.
ജനറലി പ്രഗ്നൻസി പ്രസവം എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും എല്ലാവരും പറയുന്നത് ഓർക്കണം, കുട്ടി പ്രഗ്നൻ്റ് ആണ്, ഇപ്പോൾ ഒന്നല്ല 2 പേരുണ്ട്, 2 പേർക്ക് കഴിക്കണം, അതുകൊണ്ട് വയറു നിറച്ച് നല്ല ഭക്ഷണം, റിച്ച് ഫുഡ് എപ്പോഴും കഴിക്കണം എന്നാണ് പൊതുവേ എല്ലാവരും പറയുന്നത്. ഈ സമയത്ത് വെയിറ്റ് ഗെയിൻ ഉണ്ടാവും, അതൊന്നും കുഴപ്പമില്ല എന്ന് പൊതുവേ നമ്മുടെ ഫാമിലിയിലുള്ള ആൻറ്റിമാരും ചേച്ചിമാരും എല്ലാവരും അതാണ്, ദാറ്റ്സ് ദി അഡ്വൈസ് that you're going to get from most of the places until Rachel hit home with BB.
And we were said strictly no to rice, strictly no to so many things that I like, sugar, and a lot more things that I would not have had or would not have known that I can have and can be substituted for. So then a strict plan, a strict timing. I think I really need to thank him, because he'd wake up in the morning, fix my pre-breakfast, and then we'd have a breakfast, and then we'd have a snack, and then we'd have an even lunch, and then we'd have a snack in the evening, and then we'll have dinner, and then we'll end with, like, a juice or a milk, like a glass of milk. And that really helped me with my cravings. My cravings had reduced. Normally they say that, when you enter third trimester, your cravings are like weird and it's all over the place. But it did not happen for me for the last few weeks. I was controlled, and I was happy knowing that what I was eating was helping my baby and was helping me prepare my body towards good labor.
As BB parents, Lamas classes and active mama classes, നമ്മൾ കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് പ്രിപ്പയർഡ് ആണ് ഈ കോൺട്രാക്ഷൻസ് എപ്പോൾ തുടങ്ങും, സ്പെഷ്യലി 36-37 വീക്സ് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് പിന്നെ നമ്മളിങ്ങനെ ഓടാൻ റെഡി ആയിട്ടിരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു അവസ്ഥ. അങ്ങനെ തേഴ്സ്ഡേ ഏർലി മോർണിംഗ് റേച്ചൽ കോൺട്രാക്ഷൻസ് തുടങ്ങി എന്ന് പറയുന്നു. നമ്മൾ ഇങ്ങോട്ട് വരാൻ റെഡി ആകുന്നു. ഞങ്ങൾ BB ടീമിനെ വിളിച്ചു, അവരിങ്ങ് വരാൻ പറഞ്ഞു, ഞങ്ങളിങ്ങ് വന്നു. റേച്ചൽ കോൺട്രാക്ഷൻസ് കൂടെ കടന്നു പോയിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു. ആൻഡ് പ്രിയങ്ക ചേച്ചി ചെക്സ് ഇറ്റ് ആൻഡ് സേസ് ഡയലേഷൻ ഇസ് ജസ്റ്റ് അബൌട്ട് 1 centimeter. So we were like, oh my gosh, only 1 centimeter. And then Priyanka Chechi was like, but then, take your mind off this whole thing. Go out to a mall, go out to a movie, do whatever you want to do. Just take your mind off from this whole thing. And come when, contraction കണക്ക് കറക്റ്റ് ആകുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ തിരിച്ച് വന്നാൽ മതി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. അങ്ങനെ ഞങ്ങൾ കുറച്ചൊക്കെ ഇങ്ങനെ കറങ്ങി പുറത്ത് പോയി. ഞങ്ങൾ അടുത്ത നല്ല ഇതുപോലെ കോൺട്രാക്ഷൻസ് കറക്റ്റ് ടൈമിലായെന്ന് ഫീൽ ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങൾ തിരിച്ച് വന്നു. തിരിച്ച് ഇവിടെ വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോഴത്തേക്കും വീണ്ടും ഡയലേഷൻ ചെക്ക് ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ ഡയലേഷൻ ഇസ് ജസ്റ്റ് അബൌട്ട് 3 centimeters. ബട്ട് റേച്ചലിൻ്റെ BP അപ്പോഴത്തേക്കും കുറച്ച് കൂടി തുടങ്ങി. അങ്ങനെ ദ ഡിസിഷൻ പ്രിയങ്ക ചേച്ചി ടോൾഡ് us was to stay back. ഞങ്ങൾ സ്റ്റേ ബാക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നു, വീണ്ടും ഈ ഒരു സൈക്കിൾ ഇങ്ങനെ കടന്നുപോയി കോൺട്രാക്ഷൻസ് വളരെയധികം കൂടിക്കൊണ്ടേയിരിക്കുന്നു. ബി പിയും അറ്റ് ദ സെയിം ടൈം കുറച്ചധികം കൂടുമായിരുന്നു. അങ്ങനെ സാറ്റർഡേ ഏർലി മോർണിംഗ് whole bunch of contractions and high BP, but the dilation is only at 5 centimeters. അങ്ങനെ വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോഴത്തേക്കും the decision had to come to do we continue with the contractions and wait to see the dilation increase, or do we go for a C-section?
Was given the option of, you know, a C-section because so and so, like my BP was high, my body didn't seem like it was cooperating towards pushing further, and me being feverish could lead, and later on the kid also can, the baby also can get into distress. So I was given all of these informations. I was also told that I can wait for a day to see if the dilation changes, but then it was not, you know, the midwife was saying that I wouldn't recommend it because of your condition, because of how you feel right now. So I love how informed I was about the fact that these were the reasons why I am asked to go into a C-section, rather than, oh, it's one day and then I'm done, you know, kind of a thing. And also the fact that we were given space, like everyone cleared the room for at least 5-10 minutes, allowed us to process it. I was disappointed because, you know, as a woman, you're actually pushing your body, you're pushing yourself, you're pushing your psyche, you're pushing everything into, you know, okay, natural labor, you know, this is what it's going to be. Oh, it's going to be, there's going to be you know, birth crawling, and you know, breast crawling, and all of that is what your mind's thinking. And when I knew that my body, the immediate thing was disappointment, and I actually cried. I cried to the midwife, and I cried to him, and then um, the fact that they gave us time to process things, and he reassuring very very specific things, like I want you to be healthy, I want the baby to be healthy, and the same thing the midwife telling me that we want you and the baby to be healthy, and the most important thing is the connection that you're going to have. I mean, the usage of her words, like, you know, specific words that were used, reassured us that okay, you know what, C-section is fine, it's a big thing, but it's fine. So angana we decided, and I think May 14th, 6 o'clock, I was prepped up for the surgery and all ready for C-section.
ബർത്ത് വില്ലേജിൽ ഞാൻ ഏറ്റവും അധികം സന്തോഷിച്ച ഒരു കാര്യം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് എൻ്റെ ഭാര്യയുടെ പ്രസവത്തിൽ ഇൻ ആൻഡ് ഔട്ട് ഐ കുഡ് ബി ദെയർ. ബർത്ത് വില്ലേജിൽ അത് വളരെയധികം എൻകറേജ് ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഇൻഫാക്ട് സപ്പോർട്ട് പേഴ്സണായിട്ട് ഭർത്താവ് ഐ മീൻ പ്രോക്സിമിറ്റിയിൽ അടുത്തുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ കൂടെ നിൽക്കണം എന്ന് അവർ നിർബന്ധമായിട്ട് പറയുന്നത് കൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ഐ വാസ് ദ ഹാപ്പിയസ്റ്റ് ഓണസ്റ്റ്ലി ടു ബി എൻറ്റയർലി എ പാർട്ട്. എൻ്റെ പേരൻസ് ഒക്കെ എന്നെ ആവശ്യത്തിൽ കൂടുതൽ കളിയാക്കി. മൈ മദർ ഇൻ ലോ വാസ് ലൈക്ക് കുറച്ചുകൂടെ എക്സൈറ്റ്മെൻറ്റ്, കുറച്ചുകൂടെ കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ മിക്കവാറും അവൻ തന്നെ പ്രസവിക്കുമായിരിക്കും എന്ന് പറയാറുണ്ട്. But then I was so happy. I always wanted to do this, and I was so happy with the fact that I could be completely a part of the whole process. സോ അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ കംഫർട്ട് മെഷേഴ്സിൻ്റെ ക്ലാസ്സിൽ കൂടെ കടന്നു പോയിട്ടുള്ളതുകൊണ്ട് കോൺട്രാക്ഷൻസ് വരുമ്പോൾ വൈഫിനെ പാർട്ട്ണറിനെ എങ്ങനെ സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യണം എന്നുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ ഓൾറെഡി പറഞ്ഞു തന്നിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നതുകൊണ്ട് ഐ വാസ് ഓൾസോ റെഡി. ഐ വാസ് ലുക്കിംഗ് ഫോർവേഡ് ടു ദ കോൺട്രാക്ഷൻസ് ടു കം സോ ദാറ്റ് ഐ ക്യാൻ ഡു വാട്ട് ഐ ക്യാൻ ടു സപ്പോർട്ട് ഹെർ. അത് ഫുഡ് ആയിക്കോട്ടെ, ഭക്ഷണം ആയിക്കോട്ടെ, യുനോ കുടിക്കാൻ എന്തെങ്കിലും ആയിക്കോട്ടെ, അതോ ഫിസിക്കലി മസാജ് ചെയ്യുകയോ കൗണ്ടർ പ്രഷേഴ്സ് നൽകുമോ, അങ്ങനെ വോട്ടെവർ ഇറ്റ് ഇസ്, ചില പൊസിഷൻസിൽ കൂടെ നിൽക്കാൻ കൊടുക്കുമോ, എല്ലാത്തിനും പറ്റും. സോ അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ലേബർ തുടങ്ങി ഞങ്ങൾ ബർത്ത് വില്ലേജിൽ ലേബർ റൂമിൽ എക്സ്ട്രീം കോൺട്രാക്ഷൻസിലേക്ക്, പെയിനിലേക്ക് റേച്ചൽ കടന്നു പോയിക്കൊണ്ടിരുന്നപ്പോഴും ഐ വാസ് ഏബിൾ ടു ബി ദെയർ. ആൻഡ് വാട്ട് ഐ ലവ്ഡ് അബൌട്ട് ദ ഹോൾ ബി വി ടീം is that typically nurses നമ്മളെ ഭർത്താക്കന്മാരെ ഉടനെ തന്നെ അടിച്ച് പുറത്താക്കിയിട്ട് അവർ ബാക്കി കാര്യങ്ങൾക്ക് കയറും. പക്ഷേ they gave us our space to be husband and wife. ആൻഡ് ഞാൻ എന്തൊക്കെ ചെയ്തു അതിലാരും ഇടപെട്ടില്ല. അതിലെന്തെങ്കിലും ഞാൻ ചോദിക്കുമായിരുന്നു, ചേച്ചി ഞാൻ ഈ ചെയ്യുന്നത് കറക്റ്റ് ആണോ എന്ന് ചോദിക്കും. ആൻഡ് ദിവസത്തിലേക്ക് കറക്റ്റ് അങ്ങനെ ഒന്ന് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നോളൂ. സോ ഭർത്താവ് എന്ന നിലയിൽ, സപ്പോർട്ട് പേഴ്സൺ എന്ന നിലയിൽ എനിക്ക് ഫുൾ ടൈം കൂടെ നിൽക്കാൻ പറ്റി. ആൻഡ് ഞാൻ ചെയ്യുന്ന സപ്പോർട്ട് കാര്യങ്ങളെ, സപ്പോർട്ട് മെഷേഴ്സിനെ, കംഫർട്ട് മെഷേഴ്സിനെ റീഅഷ്യൂർ ചെയ്ത് കംഫർട്ട് ചെയ്ത് എൻ്റെ കൂടെ ടീം നിന്നു. സോ ഒരു ഭർത്താവ് എന്ന നിലയിൽ ഐ തിങ്ക് ദാറ്റ്സ് എക്സ്ട്രീംലി ഫുൾഫില്ലിംഗ് ടു ഗോ ത്രൂ ദാറ്റ് ഹോൾ പ്രോസസ് to be with your wife and to just see the joy. And ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഈ ഒരു 2 ദിവസത്തെ കോൺട്രാക്ഷൻസ് ലേബർ ആൻഡ് ദിസ് ഹോൾ ജേർണി ഓഫ് അവർ ബേബി ഹാവിങ് ഹിയർ വീവ് ഗോട്ടൺ വെരി വെരി ക്ലോസ്. സി സെക്ഷൻ എന്ന് തീരുമാനം വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ദ നെക്സ്റ്റ് തിങ് ദ ടീം ടോൾഡ് മീ ഇസ് ദാറ്റ് ഗെറ്റ് റെഡി, കൈയും കാലൊക്കെ കഴുകി റെഡി ആയിട്ടിരുന്നു, വിൽ ഗിവ് യു യുവർ സൂട്ട് ആൻഡ് യു ഗോണ കം ഇൻ ടു ദ ഓപ്പറേഷൻ. ഐ വാസ് ലൈക്ക് വൗ, can I be in the operation theater? And they were like, yes, we want you to be in the operation theater. We want you to be by Rachel's side and just be there, support her emotionally, support her in every way possible, keep her happy, keep her joyful. ആൻഡ് അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ലൈഫിൽ ആദ്യമായിട്ട് ഓപ്പറേഷൻ, ഇതുവരെ എനിക്കൊരു ഓപ്പറേഷൻ സംഭവിച്ചിട്ടില്ല, ബട്ട് ലൈഫിൽ ആദ്യമായിട്ട് ഒരു സർജറിക്ക് എനിക്ക് ഒരാളുടെ കൂടെ ഓപ്പറേഷൻ തിയേറ്റർ കാണാൻ പറ്റിയ ഒന്ന്. രണ്ട്, ഈവൻ ഗ്രേറ്റർ റേച്ചലിൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് ഞങ്ങൾ അടുത്തിരുന്ന് വി വർ ടോക്കിംഗ് അബൌട്ട് എവറി റാൻഡം സ്റ്റഫ്, ബട്ട് ദ ജോയ് to be with Rachel in such a serious procedure in the operation theater was beautiful.
When we went back home, I did have issues with latching. I didn't know, like, it theory where, but when it comes to practicals, it's a very different thing. The lactation consultant had come and met us before we left home, and she had told us to call her any time of the day. But I'm like, 2 o'clock in the morning, can I text her, and all of those were my questions, but I actually put in a message because it was very painful. And she replied as soon as possible. That was around 4 o'clock in the morning. She replied to me and saying, I'm coming to your home at 9:30.
Yeah, about 9:30.
About 9:30, that very day that I had put a message, she came home. She checked the whole latch situation, and she said it's shallow latch aanu adukonana prashnam. And then she taught us how the baby should get into a deep latch. She checked my breast milk supply, and she said, you don't have to worry, you have enough and more, so that you don't have to ammamar parayunnonnum kekkanda, you definitely have. And she reassured me that my supply is good. Just that I needed to teach her, and I needed to learn how to get her to do the whole deep latch situation. And the fact that she would call me that evening, the next morning, that evening, then literally for the next 4-5 days, morning and night, to check how, and she owned the baby. Like, literally, she said, my Briella, and that was so surprising for both of us, because it had taken such a weight off of our shoulder. We asked all the doubts in the world. So that was a lactation consultant. But then on the other hand, we had the neonatal nurse again doing the same thing. So she'd ask, how many times meconium, how many times urine, how many times. So she was constantly at us on WhatsApp. I don't think the post op or the postnatal care we receive at Birthvillage is something that can be compared to any other care provider, because we've heard trauma stories, and I was traumatized and I was scared. But the fact that I did, even though it was a C-section, I have no regrets of doing it at Birthvillage, and I will not do it elsewhere actually, because of the love, the knowledge, the power, to do life with the baby that they inculcate as a culture is something that we don't find in any other care provider here in India.
I would say to expectant fathers, if you have a chance, please do this. Don't back out, okay? I'll tell you, you have the power, you are the father, and you have the power to take care of the child. നമുക്ക് ഇതൊരു rocket science അല്ല, and instinctively creation has made us in a way that where we have a baby, you will have the ability to take care of it. So don't back out. Please step in. Tell your mothers, tell your mother-in-laws, tell your aunties and uncles that I am the father, therefore I want to be involved, and get involved. I'm telling you, it's like the best experience ever. ഒരു അപ്പനെന്ന നിലയിൽ, ഒരു ഭർത്താവെന്ന നിലയിൽ, ഒരു പുരുഷനെന്ന നിലയിൽ, these are some experiences that's going to mark your life, and like those memories are going to be with you for the rest of your life. Yeah.
I think giving birth to Briella, there was so much that changed in me, but I think doing it at Birth Village caused so much good to come for me out of this. So I think one thing was, while you're pregnant, and okay, baby, being a psychologist, maybe that's why I think like that, but there was a lot of mother wounds that came up. and being able to know what birthing is, like, because when you go to a conventional setting, you don't know what birthing is, you don't know what happens to your body, you're not aware of your body, you don't know what you should be doing, all of that. But knowing all of this, knowing the process of birth, knowing what happens inside, knowing the cycles, knowing the stages of labor, uh, helped me process my mother wounds in some way or the other. And it was a very restorative process for me personally. And it helped me prepare not only for the labor, but also for the birth and how I would want to be a mother. As an expectant mother, allow yourself to go through the process. It is painful. It is painful emotionally. It is painful physically. If you're told otherwise, I think it's a lie and I think it's a myth. But allow yourself to go through the process because the process heals you. I've come out as a stronger woman. I've come out as a more confident person, and I've come out as a more whole and healed person after this entire experience. And I know that the journey of healing has just started while I parent, while I mother Briella. So I think expected mothers have to know the truth, accept the truth, and work towards what the truth brings along, and collect all the information and move towards healing. That's my one takeaway, and I think my one please do it kind of a thing to expected mothers.